All right, so we got that. It's not perfect. Better than nothing. Better than nothing. Not perfect, but better than nothing, right? I'll mess around with it a little bit, and all right, that's good enough. I had very high hopes for this stream, but hey, this what happens when you're streaming something for the first time, right? I also was going to output the audio, which that was taking forever. That's pretty good. Not too bad. I don't want to do that. I want to do that. There we go. Okay. Then the last thing I really want to do is get the audio in, because basically what I want to do is I want to get it to the point that I can use this as a reference to recreate some of the animations, do all that kind of fun stuff. So, and there's a couple of sound effects that I need to recapture. So, all right, hold on. As if you haven't held on long enough, right? Oh, and I'm noticing now that my cam here is a little messed up. Well, I'll just stretch my head out a little bit. No big deal. Welcome to the technical stream, right? This is where, if you could see the mess of cables I have here, it is astounding. Who we got out there? Seems like it's a pretty quiet day. Seems like anybody? Nobody? No? Okay. All right, let me get the audio plugged in. You can listen to some sweet sounds while I try to figure out how to get this hooked up. And we can chat. We can chat if you want. I'm not beyond that. try this the easy way. That probably sounds a lot better. Okay. Cool. Well. Play a game. Breaks. Woo, there are a lot of wires down here. Get it. All right. And see how we sound. Since might as well, right? If you're all right, let's see how it sounds. Not too bad. Little we got a little sound. I'll just have to speak up, I guess. Got this low pass. I think that'll work better. Cool. All right. Now we just need people to show up. All right, if you're not already following along, that follow button just lets me know that you're interested in watching. Otherwise, so again, this is Road Kings 1986. I'll probably stream this for the next couple days and moved out of the regular studio and so basically a couple years ago I got this Road Kings and I got a P-Rock board with the intention of updating the rules. And after a couple years of not being able to update I decided to step back and just try to recreate the original rules and kind of build from there. Just kind of like a Hunter S. Thompson exercise. Trying to recreate greatness. Rather than trying to reinvent the wheel. Recreate what's already done. So basically, I'm gonna do this to kind of. I've recreated a lot of the rules, but I want to document, stuff I've missed. But basically, I'm running this on the physical hardware, but through. Hey, Turbo, how's it going? It is, you know what? It's going okay now. I was having one of those days where I wanted to try something new, and sometimes trying new things bites you in the ass. So I've spent the last 2-3 hours trying to get this new setup put together, and it's not perfect, but it'll work. Thanks for saying hi. I hate missing my deadline. I had said, oh yeah, I'll start streaming at noon. Like, that'll be plenty of time. I got up, got the kids dropped off. I had a good 2 hours to get everything set up, and then I wanted to do a direct video feed, and that was no dice. So anyways, doing better now. Now that I got this set up, I'm gonna leaving it here for. We're gonna play Road Kings for them. Once you get it set up, just don't stop. In case you missed it, I'm playing this a P-Rock board. I'm in the process of redoing the rules. Yep. Yeah. Fun. That's the thing, is that I'm happy to mess around with it, because later I kind of, once I figure out how everything, what works and what doesn't work, the tricky part was, so again, I'm playing this through my P-Rock, but the tricky part was that the card didn't want to go to any HD resolution. So, and I only have HDMI. I only have an HDMI input. So I was trying to convert a VGA input. Anyways, here now. I got the direct audio feeding in, so you get to listen to the beautiful sounds. Got this beautiful video. Feel like the scoreboard might be a little out of focus, but you know what? Let's not fix it. Fine. It's fine. I do want to make the full screen. So, what I was saying before is, yes, the glass is off, in part because you know, I'm going through and reprogramming the rules, and the kickback, for some reason, doesn't always want to fire. Like, it'll fire, but it doesn't fire fast enough. So, we'll figure it out. And it's also worth taking the glass off because I don't want the glare. And sometimes it's fun just to do this. I tell you what, playing with the glass off is it's like a whole new experience. You can get right down there. I just hit myself with the phone. I need to clip that. If anybody's in chat still watching, clip that. That was funny. I like being unique and outrageous. Let's get this multi-goals. Tough mess. So the other related news, I am hoping to be moving, hoping to move offices next couple weeks. So for the next week or two, fingers crossed I'll be able to stream, maybe even twice a day, because I got all my stream stuff at home, and it's just a lot easier. Stream sometimes like at late prime time rather than during the day, so I at lunch normally because I'll work from home. Evening. Let's check our focus. Still as much. You know, Road Kings and like a lot of these like secondary some 11 titles, they get like a bad rap, but I love this game. Super simple, but fun. Here in a minute, I'll do a rules walkthrough. What I've been doing, that I've got like, so I have at the current moment, I have a Rogue King, an Iron Maiden, a Time Warp, 79 times. Which this is like, I feel like almost naked, because this is the least amount of games that I've had in a very long time. At one point, which it actually works out fine, because at one point in time my game room was way too full, as we're all, oh wait, so yeah. And like I was saying before, with this P-Rock project, I am recreating the rules, but I plan on, once I kind of recreate the rules and feel good about that, I plan on basically taking that rule set and expanding it. I have all the basic stuff I want to add already, but I wanted to go back and basically just, I've been working on this project for at least 3 or 4 years. Yeah, if you talk to anybody who does a P-Rock project, it also can quickly get. God, there are wires everywhere. I was. Ah, I love that. Love the audio. Yeah, it was getting so bad that like, so this is my home game room. It's getting so bad that so we have the main access in and out of the house. You go through 2 double doors, French door. Great. So I was kind of getting to the point that I was thinking about putting games either in front of the double doors or just blocking the door to the outside. And my wife was not super happy about that because I had already blocked all the windows. So, yes, yeah. I mean, and you know, it's like one of those things where it's like, all right, let's, you know, recreating the rules can be a challenge. Mostly because there are some rules that like they're not on the rule card, and nobody's documented. Bunch of stuff I found. I've had to like basically go into, you know, what do you call it? Instant info. You know, like the detour value, that makes sense. The eject bonus, that makes sense. But the time lock, for the life of me, figure out how that's calculated. I have guesses, but like, I don't know. So one of these streams, I'm just gonna like go through by hand, and just like hit a button, and be like, did that change the time lock? Nope. Another one, did that change the time lock? Yeah, we're gonna spend the entire stream just like figuring out how the time lock. It's like, time lock doesn't. So now that I've started my ball, what's weird? You just saw it was like at 500,000. It's like, yeah, 500,000. And not gonna award me that because like I just started my ball. It's supposed to start at 200,000. This is a mini ball, so I'm not really even sure. Anyways, I love P-Rock. I love coding. I love it for the same reason why I do stupid things like this, where I like, see, the kickback's too slow. That's another, I was saying before, that's another reason why I keep the class off. Kickback, I'm having trouble getting it to actuate fast enough. And I have an idea of how to do it, but the way I'm running this right now is going through pin maim is just fast enough. All right, let's get serious. Let's see if I can get comfortable. Open. Soda water. Oh, wait. That says Iron Maiden. Ha 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 ha. I've developed a lot of respect for this. Well, number one, I've always liked weird some 11 games. And for that matter, like weird games in general. Um, Gottlieb's, Gottlieb Premier. Uh, uh, okay. It said 500,000, and yeah, I don't know where it's. You know what? I'm wondering if it's a carryover. I bet there's a carryover feature because I definitely started it. It's starting to make a little more sense why if I collected it before, probably why. Which is fine, and that actually makes sense, the progressive jackpot. It's one thing about System 11s I really don't dig, the progressive jackpot. Not my deal. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, this is Road Kings. Not. I'll do it in a minute. Gotta keep everybody entertained. Yeah, you know, it's funny because a lot of these games, this happens a lot, but just that maybe going a little slow. A lot of these games, just like you know, like Stars or like Torpedo Alley or whatever, they become really popular after tournaments, and I believe the the U.S. championships when they were in Austin. No, they were in Dallas maybe a couple years ago, and they played Road Kings, and then all of a sudden Road Kings got really popular. Robert Gagnon loves Road King. It's a very simple game, but I really like the repetition. It's one of those things that like you can build up. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was like Stars was, you know, any of those games. Once they're in a tournament, all of a sudden people are like, oh my gosh, it's not a pile of crap. But I don't even know what I was talking about. Doesn't matter. Let me see if I can find that. Find the road. Ba 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 da 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 da. Road King. And might as well do a walkthrough. Yeah. Harlem Globe. I really like Harlem Globetrotters. I like it because it reminds me of Paragon, but just like a little tighter. You don't have to worry so much about. Paragon's a beat. Number one to move. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Faster pair. Um, I really like Alien Star, but I don't feel this Alien Star is a perfect example where it like, that's a Premier Golly. Yes, who cares about that? And then all of a sudden, oh, Keith Elwin likes it. Oh, okay, all right. Well, hold on a minute. Uh, Road Kings. There we go. Um, Something else. Oh yeah, rules. Road. So I'm programming an MPF. So all right, the basics of without going. I'll probably do a full deep basic strategy. You want to collect Road King letters, 4 on the right, 5 on the left. Sorry, 4 on the left, 5 on the right. Collect Road King letters. Once you spell either Road or Kings, you get awarded a random lock. Here could be here or could. And once you lock 2 balls, you start a 2-ball multi-ball. Then you are encouraged to relock in any one of the 3 locks, the 2 balls. Once you relock it, you get that time lock, which obviously now seeing it's a jackpot, we should be able to start our game and probably will default back to my mic audio. Yeah, sorry. Is it better now? The mic audio better now? So anyways, so you yeah, so once you spell Road Kings, and once you light your balls, you get your progressive jack. That jackpot's it. Yeah. I put a low pass. Yeah, 200,000. All right, good. I put a low pass filter because I was trying to cut out some of the game noise, but I think maybe that futile effort. Back it down. Now that you mention it. Anywho, yeah, and then basically once you do time lock, then you can get 50,000 point jackpots, like over and over and over again. And then you just do it over and over and over again. After you spell Road Kings, I think 3 times, you get extra ball. Yeah, so it's to do. Up down to maybe 25. 40. Let's try that. So, yeah, okay. It won't capture a whisper, but maybe it'll capture all the way up into right about there. Okay. All right, enough talking, more playing. Yeah, I don't, after playing all those Jersey Jack games and, Iron Maiden, Lord of the Rings, Simpsons, it's nice just to have a real basic rule set. The game where it's like, all right, oh, I forgot. So you can collect letters either by shooting the ramp, either ramp. So you can shoot the center ramp, which it alternates going left to right, or you can shoot up the big ramp, or you can hit the targets directly. I found that Robert Gagnon, who obviously knows what he's doing, he seemed to prefer shooting the center ramp because it also increases your deter value, which is every time you light Road Kings, it lights either the left side. So if I go up, the next ball I go up, when I go down, I'll collect whatever detour value I've accumulated. To be honest, most of the points are in multi-ball because it does multiply your playfield, and it'll even multiply your it multiplies your detour value as well. Whoops. Getting this set up stressed me out. All right, enough shenanigans. Say that about 50 times an hour. You also have a hole bonus. The bummer part is that once you... It's kind of one of those weird, dumb features that I like. I mean, obviously, hole bonus is a good feature. But once you already have hold bonus, it still keeps fighting, but it doesn't give you anything. And that just bothers me. It's like, fine, I get it. I've already collected hold bonus, but then don't entice me with a hold bonus hurry up. So that's one thing, when I'm redoing the rules, that's one thing that I want to change. Seems like this game is not very popular this time of day. I should be playing Iron Maiden. Oh well. And if I could make... Or it could also be that I am doing terribly. Playing terribly. But hey. Could be anything. Could even be a boat.
Fight the road game.
Your eject bonus you get by shooting it into the unlit scoop. So anytime a scoop is, or not a scoop, kick out is unlit, you get, build up your eject bonus. What we got? Yeah, see, I don't know where that number comes from. Again, I understand how it, if I don't collect it, how I can... I miss, dang it. So what's kind of cool too is there's an extra ball. Once you score time lock the first time, it lights extra ball for you. However, once you collect it, and then let's say you collect it, you drop out a multi-ball. The next ball, the extra ball will light if you get time lock. However, it doesn't actually give you an extra ball when you shoot it the second time, even though it's lit. Again, there's a lot of these like rules that conditional rules that they kind of forgot to disable when it's not relevant anymore. Neither here nor there, I suppose. Just little things like that I want to, I'm going to add some modes to it. I believe I will be adding right now the trough holds 2 balls. I'm going to I have a trough that'll hold 3 balls. Interestingly enough, a lot of the data east of the time, basically they just used all the same parts. So everything fits pretty well. So I got a Daddy's 3-ball trough. Pretty cool.
We'll be back, Jack. Vengeance will be ours.
Bomber. Right. I do that too. Thank you. I appreciate the note. Playing at lunchtime, I find, is not a very lucrative time to do it. Which is in part why I brought everything home. It's funny though, because the usual suspects, in part, I wanted to stream this time of day because I was talking to a lot of people in England and in Australia, and they seem to like it. Yeah, I mean, in part, I found like that was the, you know, I really wanted something to watch while I was at work, and there's nobody ever streaming pinball, so I was watching a lot of retro games, which is fine, but you can only watch so much of Super Mario Brothers 3. That's just me, you know. If I get my way, I'm gonna get a studio that's really close to my house. Close enough I could ride my bike. And if that happens, that would be great, because then I could, you know, have everything set up permanently. But I could still jet over there at 11 o'clock at night and it wouldn't be a big deal. So.
We'll be back, Jack. Vengeance will be ours.
Woo! We'll say this. These System 11 lockdown bars, not as forgiving on the finger bones as the stern. A lot of these I'm getting like a welt on my finger from all the slap save. Must just be the angle or something. Nope. It's hard to shake this because I'm so boxed in. Gotta fix my my setup. Looks like a couple more people joined us. Hello, how's it going? Feel free to ask any questions. Hit that follow button if you're not already following along. I tend to, I stream pinball, usually in the middle of the day, Eastern time, around lunchtime. And probably going to start doing some virtual pinball and also some arcade games to mix it up a little bit. So whatever you're interested, let me know. I'll be honest, I prefer, for the most part, I can play, I like arcade games, but I can play pinball or virtual pinball a lot longer than play arcade games. Missed out on the extra ball. It timed out, unfortunately. Bummer.
Vengeance will be ours.
Stream brought to you by LaCroix or LaCroix. I prefer LaCroix. I understand it's LaCroix. Ah, I hate that. Thought about putting a paper towel there or something to, you know, if it drains, fine, but when the kickback is too slow, it's bothers me. Kind of BS. Works about half, maybe 70% of the time. Bah! Keep looking at the playfield and it just seems slightly out of focus. So I'm a video producer during the day, and shit like that bothers me. Not doing good. Not doing great.
We'll be back, Jack. Vengeance will be ours.
So Turbo, what do you do during the day? For money. I don't know too many details. I know it's everybody's dream who does streaming to one day do what kind of Jack does and stream full time, but it's hard work. You gotta be a producer and a promoter and sorts of BS. bummer. Whoops. Up. Cheating? Maybe. I got ball searched. Alright. Feel good about this next one.
Vengeance will be devoured.
Part of the reason why I wanted to stream this too is I've been having some like epic games on here. I think I got through 2 or 3, at least I'd say 3 rounds of multi-ball on the first ball last night, I think. Not doing so well today. I need more tater tots. I guess I don't feel quite as good about that one. Whew.
Vengeance will be devoured.
It is nice that these are like quick, easy, quick games, you know. Quick and easy. Bummer. Should have cheated. Nobody's watching. Nope. Oops.
Vengeance will be ours.
Let's see what the time lock value is. I want. What? Oh, wait, time lock 2 and click off. So I think time lock builds only during multi-ball. I'm assuming it's based on maybe Road King letters or maybe kickouts. I don't know. Hard to say. So, it's funny you should say that. So, well, number one, hey, I can do whatever I want. I win! No, so this is, so this game is actually running off of P-Rock. But you know what? You should, earlier in the stream, I'm going to clip it at the end. Earlier in the stream, I put my face on the playfield and hit the flipper buttons by accident. And I definitely hit myself in the face. It was hilarious. But this is running off of P-Rock. So I am in the middle of converting, basically re-encoding or redoing the rules. So a couple years ago, I started a P-Rock project and came up with, you know, kind of a fun game, but I wasn't super happy with it. So I wanted to basically just recreate the Road King's rules. So couple things. Because this is running off PinMame right now, because I'm still trying to figure out, still trying to get some of the rules adjusted. Because it's running on PinMame, the kickback is too slow. So you'll see that sometimes the kickback is clearly lit. It goes in, it fires, but then it like doesn't fire until it's too late. Sometimes, not all the time, sometimes. So in part, I did it because I'm programming and I want to be able to like mess around with the switches. But I also catch the ball when it doesn't get. Not all the time though. But when the kickback fails, I will sometimes catch the ball, which is also when you're streaming, it's a lot easier to do. How so? The level of involvement. Yeah, dude, pinball's deep. Whether it's the rules of this game they're not complex, but there's like a lot of nuances to it. But then the pinball world is pretty amazing. So yeah, I've got a little, like a little microcomputer that's down there. Yeah, man, it is a world of hurt and fun. Mostly hurt, actually, yeah. Yeah. You know, and I got really into, I don't know, like so I've been back into pinball for about 5 years now, and I just like dove head first. For the first couple years that I was into pinball, I did a podcast. I did the Boom Go Pinball podcast. I did about 100 episodes of that, and that was a lot of fun. You know, it was okay. It was fun, but okay. And then I streamed a ton, and then about 3 years ago, I took a break, and I'm back at it. But, you know, I never stopped playing, never stopped programming, you know? So... all right. But you know what? I think, to be honest, all you got to do is enjoy what, you know, whatever your world is with pinball. Yeah, see? See? Bullshit. I would, you know, yeah. That's a great idea. You know, you can get, depending upon what area you're in, depending upon what kind of pin friends you have. I picked this table up for $800, and I'd been since, you know, I first got into pinball. I just loved this layout. I loved this theme, and it took me a couple years. It took me like 2 or 3 years to find one in my area. $800. Now, it. You know, it needed a few things, but still playable. There's nothing wrong with it. I think basically it worked out well because I was reprogramming anyway, so I replaced the displays with an LCD, which is what you're seeing there. Yeah, in general it worked. I mean, you just had to screw on with it a little bit. There were a few little things. I love these System 11 games. Oh, Minneapolis, right. Okay. Yeah, there's a ton of games in Minneapolis. And pretty good. Yeah, I mean, then if you talk to some operators, there's deals out there. I'm lucky. Ohio is like, you know, Ohio gets a lot of stuff from the West, from Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, you know, all that's coming this way. We get stuff from Pennsylvania, stuff from Kentucky, stuff from New York. We have a pretty thriving pinball market. In addition to that, the guys who run Pinball Expo are actually from Ohio. So they end up importing a ton of games. I live in Columbus, where Trent Augustine Tilt Amusements is based. He imports a bunch of games. So I'm very lucky to be in this area. Thanks for dropping in, by the way. I do enjoy your streams, and like I was saying before, I'm really inspired to do more location streaming. Especially, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Especially if I just, you know, maybe get scaled down, you know, streaming setup. Something I could stream like 720. I have a little Mac Mini. Yes. Now, I mean, I would not say never to eBay, but there are rarely good deals on eBay. Your best bet is Craigslist. Yeah, I would say your best bet is get involved with the scene and make friends. You know, find anybody, any pin people, where even if you have to, you know, go to, you know, a league or a tournament, usually that's a pretty good deal. If you can make friends, and you get a friends discount and whatnot. Craigslist, OfferUp, places like that. Yeah, I mean, your stream is great. I mean, for relying on house internet and everything fits into a backpack, you have a good stream. I dig it. What era? What era machines do you prefer? Yeah. That's the internet is not, that can severely impact. I mean, sometimes I watch streams and they're streaming in like 560 resolution and 480 resolution, and it's just, pretty low res. It's just that low just can get me. So the internet can kill you. When you're streaming at like 1 megabyte or 2 megabytes and really low res, but it's worth it to a point. But I'd almost like, at that point, unless it's like this really important thing, I don't know if I want to stream. Anywho, let's see what else. If you're on pin side deals are okay. Yeah. 90s games are good. I like 90s games, and I'll say that's kind of where I'd say I got my start with early 80s games, and I was like really into early 80s games, and then just kind of worked my way up. Part of it was, I was just getting started and trying to collect, so I really focused on some early 80s games. I had a Gorgar, so over the past 5 years I've had 20 different games come in and out of my hands. It's once you start buying one, they just never stop. They never stop. It's insane. 90s stuff, especially if you get, like me, you get into the 70s and 80s games, you can get them for, a couple $100, $1,000. Yeah, it'll get you. But yeah, my recommendation, check Craigslist, OfferUp, Let Go, look on Pinside, make friends with leagues or tournaments. Especially if you're into the 90s stuff, I think, and getting in touch with an operator not be bad. There's a pretty big arcade in Minnesota, and gosh, it's Lloyd the Great runs it, and I'm trying to remember what it's called. But he would be a pretty reputable guy, and I imagine it seems like he will cycle games through sometimes. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I think it might be in Minneapolis. And that's the other thing that's great about living in Ohio is that, we've got Cleveland, we've got Columbus, where I live. I'm originally from Cleveland. Now I live in Columbus. We also have Cincinnati, Toledo. Those are all, pretty. Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati have really good pin scenes. So it's lucky. SS Billiards, yes. Yeah, well, bop. You didn't see that. Lloyd's a good dude. I don't know what, it seems like he has some good deals sometimes. I can't wait for you to get a new job and get your first game, because what's cool about it is I find that it almost is like kind of a wash where, you'll spend, you might spend $2,000 on a game, but you can usually get that $2,000 back. And if you can't, you might end up with $100. And to be honest, for the amount of games I put in here, I'm still saving money. So I'm getting all this enjoyment. You could cut back on pinball, but why would you want to do that? Yeah, he's a good dude. He'll do you right. The best part about it is especially if you're just getting into pinball and you're not super comfortable repairing, he is the kind of guy who will help you. You know, if you call him, he's yeah, I'll let it go. I messed it up. He is the technician for Jersey Jack Pinball. He's like the one, you know, one of their go-to guys. That you know he gets all the new stuff, and you can call him and ask him about Jersey Jack. So and he has this yeah, and that me too. You know, it's just it's a matter of just getting your feet wet. He on Pinside, he's got his own little corner where it's Ask Lloyd Anything, and you can ask him anything, and he'll help you fix it. So yeah, I highly recommend calling him. You know, at the very least, you know, his prices will be competitive. You know, he's not. You know, there's a couple. Most of the pin places around me are pretty affordable, but there's a couple places that are similar to TNT Amusements where they they fully refurbish the games before they sell them, and I find that for me, I'm willing to do the work, and so I feel like he would be the same kind of guy where he, you know, probably has games that work fresh off the route. He can guarantee that they work, but he's not going to charge you retail prices for it. Whoa, a Black Knight for under 1,000? That is a great deal. One of the really fun things about this game is that while you are in multi-ball, you can still build up your locks, the letters for your locks. You can fall out of multi-ball and get right back in. So if you have a halfway decent multi-ball, you can just keep it rolling. It's like a progressive thing. Once I get going, look out. Bummer. Nope. Nope. Go to water. I'm gonna play this game and I'm gonna keep streaming, but I just got to do one little thing. Nope. Bah, humbug.
We'll be back, Jack.
All right, I'll be right back. I'll leave you with some sweet music.
Vanity will be devoured.
All right, let's do it. Woo! Yeah, we'll let it go. We'll let it go. Sometimes I pull the ball out. Not supposed to. It's hilarious. Not a great one. We started the game. See, that's another great advantage of having your own game. If you're having a bad game, you start it. I attribute it very much to me getting better at pinball. It enables you to practice things. You know, I know a lot of people. If there's a shot they want to practice, you know, they'll put the ball right on the flipper and they'll say, "All right, I want to practice this shot," and then they'll just do it over and over and over again. And you can try. You know, it's easier because you can try just stupid things. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. When you're like, oh man, ideally, let's be honest. Ideally, you know what it would be is somebody would give you, it's like, all right, I'm at the arcade. You pick the game and then you send me, 50 bits. You send me 50 bits or whatever, or 200 bits and I'll play, 3 credits. So you make it, you put it on them. You say, hey, you want to watch me play? Give me 200 bits. We're real lucky here because we have a bunch of arcade bars that have over 30 games. There's Arcade Super Awesome. We have 2 different branches for this place called Pins Mechanical. We have level 1. There's a bunch of other bars. Oh, we have Sideswipe. There's a bunch of other bars that have like 10 games, and I like going to Pins Mechanical because all their games, like even they're brand new, like you can go there and play. I think they'll have a Jurassic Park here very soon, but you can go play Jurassic Park for 50 cents a game. It's great. But there are no replays on. I think that's kind of how they're able to make up the difference. It's a very high volume bar. The pin's mechanical. And I don't think that they do a split. I think it's all the money goes to the operator, maybe. I could be wrong about that. So that's I found is definitely one way that I've been able to get better with new games, because paying 50 cents a little bit better than the 75 cents or whatever, 75 cents that you're paying for the other ones. So. I'm going to turn the fan on. Whoops.
We'll be back, Jack.
Really? Oh, that's cool. Wow, that's cool.
Vengeance will be
Good for you.
ours.
Cool. Hey, looks like we got a couple other people joining us today. How's everybody doing? Playing Road Kings, 1986 right now. Right now, this is running off P-Rock hardware through PinMain. Obviously, physical table. We're hitting it. This isn't a television screen. But I replaced the CPU with a Windows computer because I'm going to program my own rules. But for now, part of what I'm doing, just hanging out with all the dudes, and I am documenting there's some nuanced rules in the game that I'm not sure how they work exactly. So I'm just documenting some of the light shows, some of the and some of the nuanced rules. It's a slow stream day today. Probably nobody wants to watch Road King. Who knows? Nope. What bar do you normally go to? Oh, almost. I got balls. The ball search on this is, I feel, a little short. There we go. Okay, cool. Is that where you were playing? What were you playing the other day? Aerosmith, I think? That was where we're playing that. Could just go for the lock. Smart. Oh, okay, okay.
Fight the road game.
Yeah. I think there aren't nearly enough people streaming Beatles. A fun game. Different. I like it. It's different. I wish it was more affordable, but what are you gonna do? Better internet, always a good decision. All right, what do we got? Nope. It's very 79s. In part, that's why I like this game. Quick, quick, quick.
We'll be back, Jack. The engine will be powered.
Not very deep, though. Probably why. Let's see here. So, hit the ramp a million times and go into multi-ball and actually prefer playing Stearns on stream because there's like more to go for. After a while, after like an hour, I like these games because they're really good to play like just a quick game. After whatever 2 hours or whatever I've been playing, I get a little repetitive. Still a fun game. This thing is more. Woo! Or a 1 or 2 player. Once you have a good game, it's like, all right, I had a good game. Good game for me on this anymore is 5 million, maybe 5-6 million if I can get the multi-balls rotating. Light one multi-ball while I'm playing the other one. and get hold bonus. That, I'll tell you what, you can get hold bonus. I think you build your bonus up to 500,000. Yeah, and if you can build that up to 500,000 and then get hold bonus, you're in solid shape, I find. Going into my, there we go, hour and a half. Stream for hour. If you're watching and you're not already following, hit that follow button. It'd be nice if you did. We will stream for maybe another half hour. Make a nice even 2 hours. Then I'll be back tonight, maybe. Well, actually, no. I will not be back tonight. I've got an early morning tonight. Ah! I hate that. Got this game like cemented to the floor, so it's really hard to nudge.
Vengeance will be devoured.
Funny, I've been streaming Iron Maiden for the last 2 weeks. And I figured people were getting bored with it, but I honestly think that people are getting bored with this. Ha! Nope. Nope! Hey, I am having fun, thank you. That's all that matters, right? Honestly, you know, I really stopped streaming and podcasting and all that stuff because I just getting in this really low point, you know? And we're like, pinball just wasn't fun anymore, so you're right. To hell with them all. I do actually really like it. That is true. I mean, in part, I have a hard time socializing. Yeah, you know, that's probably what it is. It's just nobody's interested in watching on a Friday. Everybody either, you know, part of it is that I wanted to stream at lunchtime because I have a lot of friends that are in like Europe or in hey, how's it going? I have friends in Europe or Australia, and I wanted to give them something to watch. Gold, gold, gold. Oh, I like that. I like that emote, that red, white, and blue emote. Where's what channel is that from? Ah, wow. Got quite the emote.
Fight the
It's it looks really familiar. Is it based on what logo is it based on? Nope. Almost look like an MLB logo. I got you. Dang it. I got the extra ball, but it didn't register. And it's gonna time out. Did I get it? I did. Thank God. Yeah. That's probably what it is. Well, I enjoy it. Maybe I should subscribe to your channel, because I want it. I'm glad you tuned in. I was honestly thinking, was it a bad choice to stream Road Kings? Because nobody seems to want to watch it. But then Bits was reminding me, uh-oh, lost it. What did we lose? What did we lose? He's reminding me that, you know, hey, screw everybody else. You're here to have fun. Of course. Wait, did I get it? Maybe. There it is. Maybe? No, it is like frozen. That is not. I love it. I love it. Oh, good. It's unfrozen. Yeah, it's one of those games that you look at it and you're like, oh, an early System 11 with a weird theme and like kind of basic rule set, but it is so much fun to play. I think it's the basic rule set and a really fun layout that gets me. Yeah. My kids love this game because they can grab the ball. Pinballer, what I was saying is so number one, obviously, you know, took the glass off because of for the stream because I was getting glare. But this is running off. This is my P-Rock project. It's running off P-Rock. This is the original rules that are running through PinMame, and PinMame has a real hard time getting the timing for the kickback right. So I have to keep glass off, so that way I can catch the ball when the kickback is lit, but not acting right. Yeah. So I've spent like over 3 years working on various different iterations of my P-Rock project. Right. So basically the idea, the reason why I bought well, number one, I like Road Kings to begin with. I like the layout, but I agree that the rules are a little simple. And it's a game that I knew I was going to keep, so I stripped the boards out, sold them, used that money to buy a P-Rock board. So basically, my idea is I want to take the original well, this is where I'm at now, but it took me almost 4 years to get to this. I'm taking the original Road Kings rules, and I'm basically reverse engineering them and reprogramming it. And then once I get the rules to a point where I feel like, okay, it's where it needs to be, then I'm gonna incorporate my advanced. Basically, you've got Road Kings and then Road Kings. I'm calling it Road Kings Apocalypse, because it'll basically take the theme. And as luck would have it, I'm a video producer, and about 15 years ago, I was involved with a movie called The Red Skulls. You can look it up on YouTube. It's a pile of shit. Red Skull's, like Z grade horror movie. So I have the rights to use all the Red Skull's assets, and I also have, I'm friends with the whole cast. So one night we were all hanging out, and I brought my microphone and a recorder, and I had a list of pinball callouts. So I have additional pinball callouts that go with, the theme. So Red Skulls was more about a bike. They were a biker gang that ended up getting infected with this like zombie or this like mutant drink, and it turned everybody who drank it turned into a bloodthirsty mutant, right? So yeah, so long story very long. Right now, I'm running this off PinMame because it's the original ROM. I want to document all the light shows and all the rules and et cetera, by just streaming it. Now, the problem I'm running into is that there are a few things, and part of the reason why I'm documenting them is most of the rules make perfect sense. They're either in the manual, on the rule card, or you can just understand by playing it. There's a couple small nuances, like with the time lock, that I haven't figured out. I know that the time lock is a progressive jackpot, but I'm not 100% sure what builds that jackpot and how, what increments. Is it building by 10 points, 100 points, 1,000 points, 10,000, 100,000? I don't know. I don't know what it built. All I know is it starts at 200,000. It's a progressive jackpot that if you don't collect it, somebody else can. So, which is probably one of the downfalls of the System 11s of this era, the progressive, from a competitive standpoint anyway. The progressive jackpot kind of bothers me. So that's one thing I'm looking at. So anyways, very long, drawn out explanation, but I just think it's such a, I love the art. It's a Mark Ritchie design, and best of all, it's a pretty cheap game. So, it's been pretty easy for me to find, parts for it. Thought about, right. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I like the game the way it is. I obviously will play the game the way it is. I feel like I would play it a lot more if it had deeper rules. If it had something that you could do besides, basically, pretty much you want to build up your detour value. You want to play multi-ball. And get time lock. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Hey, if you ever get into it, so one of the things that I'm about to do with my stream is I'm going to start interviewing homebrewers on the stream and homebrew pinballers. And in addition to that, I'm going to be doing some streaming where I do programming. So if that interests you, stay tuned. It's like I said, I'm gonna actually do live. I know that Pinball Undesirables, he will do some streaming where he's programming, and I'm thinking about doing the same. That's the thing. I mean, honestly, like most people who get really into pinball have thought a lot about like their favorite game. Like, I love this game, but yeah, well, Wolfmarsh. Yeah, I worked with him on. We were doing some display things. Are you in Tennessee? I think. The Zelda one. Zelda. I think I've heard about that. Oh, Charleston. Wolfmarsh. Who am I thinking of in? There's a guy in Tennessee. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, but I've heard of Wolf Marsh. Yeah. The Metro guy is in. I'm not sure where he's in, but I think he streams on Pinball Undesirables. I think. I've chit chatted with him a little bit. No. Yeah. Arcade. Yeah, arcade. Yeah. Yep. Anywho, cool. Well, stay tuned. And you know, and if you're getting on your journey, feel free to ask any questions. I've arrived. I like the P-Rock board. I think the P-Rock board is compatible with the see here. Is trying to think if Starship Troopers is a Stern or Data East. The trivia question. That's why I couldn't think of it. I was like, Stern or Data East? Nope, Sega. I was like, definitely not Data East, and it's definitely not Stern. What could it be? Sega, of course. Those are some really good trivia questions. What are all the Sega games? Do you have? You have like you have Frankenstein. You have X-Files. Yeah, Frankenstein, X-Files. Baywatch is a Sega, I think. Obviously, Starship Troopers. What are the other Sega games? Oh, were some of the South Parks or all the South Parks? I think those are Sega. Starship Troopers, I agree. I think that could use a little refresh on the rule. That's a really fun layout. There's some really cool toys on there. Yep. Twister. Oh, Lost in Space. Whenever I think of Twister, I think of Lost in Space because it's got the similar spinning magnets. Oh, Godzilla. So tell me about the wizard mode in Starship Troopers. I've never gotten there. Hey, you know what? You gotta start somewhere, right?
Fight the road game.
Nope. Now that kickback. Oh. Like the Ghostbusters wizard mode. We're gonna go all the trouble of putting wizard mode in. Make it something worth playing. I mean, I kind of get it back in the day, but where they're like, oh, you know, so few people are going to get to this point. But, like, it almost seems lazy. Where it's like, just give me, like, something where it feels like, after all this time, worth it. I mean, in part, I'd say that's probably like the thing that's missing about a lot of these like System 11 games is that they're the basic layouts are fun, the basic rules are fun, but there's nothing to go for. Once you get to multi-ball, it's just like, okay, do that again, which I think is a lot of fun. It's part of the reason why I like this game. I can turn it on, play one game, and be done. But also, I like a game that I can... that there's something... I guess, you know, I always want something else. Like, I don't care as much about score as much as I do about, like, you know, getting to the super secret wizard mode, right? That is unfortunate. Been thinking about doing some virtual pin streaming, and I have I think I have Starship Troopers on my Pinball arcade. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna get there, and I know what to talk to you about. No, no, no! Woo! Flip it! Ah! I'll be honest, late at night, after I have some herbal satisfaction, I'm really good at this game. Right now, how's I'm at? Actually, it doesn't matter. I'm having fun, as long as you're having fun. That's all that matters. No! No! Ah! So much fun. You missed the last 5 minutes or so. That is going to be hard for me to repeat. Yeah, do research, and like I said, I think all I said basically was I think I'm going to try to play some more Starship Troopers so I can give you some ideas. Yeah. I feel like I did, but I can't remember what I said. It wasn't big. The biggest thing is stay in touch, man. I love helping. You know, I love, you know, whatever it is that I've learned so far. And like I was saying, my hope is to start doing interviews with some of these homebrew guys, because a lot of them have learned lessons that are worth you know, sharing, so that way we all don't make the same mistakes over and over and over again. Yes, it would be. Now, the hard thing is changing the rules. You know, and that's part of the reason why I'm building my code from the ground up. You can't, for the most part, it's hard to just change one thing. You basically have to rebuild the game from the ground up. in part, that's why I like this, because I can recreate the alphanumeric displays, and there's no graphics to recreate, and then most of the sound effects I can just grab. Which, to be honest, that's why I'm streaming it, why I have it hooked up to streaming, so I can start capturing some of the sound effects. But it's a little more complicated because you can't. There's no good way to just extract the original code. You can play the original code, which is what I'm doing. So playing it is one thing, but extracting it is a little different. There are ways to do it, but I couldn't tell you how in that particular instance. But I'll be honest, a lot of those Sega games, they wouldn't be terribly difficult to read. My one problem is just finding the time to sit down and code, which is why I'm like, all right, I'm going to start this podcast, talk to coders, and I want to I'm going to do some like the guy who's doing Metroid. I want to do live coding, just as a way of kind of carving out time to code. Maybe. I've never, everybody I've talked to is basically decompiling the code. If you could get the original code, sure.
Feel the power.
Two-Hearted Mail, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Die! You've tuned in just in time. Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to decompile the original code, basically. So that's why that's probably what I talked about when you were on the phone. The original code. Well, it may be. I mean, the original ROMs are available, but you'd have to decompile them, and doing that, I don't know. So, but you know what? I mean, it's worth looking into, but everybody I've ever talked to, they're like, yeah, basically just build it from the ground up, which is easier said than done. I think that's why there are less of these updates, because it's if you could just go in and change just the wizard mode or whatever, I think more people would do it. Now, all that said, I know that there was a WMS decompiler that somebody was able to decompile the ROMs and change a couple things. There's a guy on Pinside, Chad. I think his name's Chad on Pinside. He would actually be a really good person to talk to about this, because he has decompiled the rules for a bunch of Data East games. So, since he's decompiled those and he's changed a couple things around, so I think you might want to get in touch with him, Chad on Pinside. I know he redid the rules for Hook. I know he redid the rules for Jurassic Park, the original Data East Jurassic Park. He's done a couple other things. So what he's doing is he's decompiling and recoding, whereas a lot of other homebrewers, we are programming with programming with Python through either the fast boards or the PROC boards. So that is one advantage of just decompiling and burning your own ROMs, is then you don't have to have a PROC board. So, you gave me a good idea. He would actually be a great person to get on the stream, on the podcast, because he's doing, the way he's doing it so different than what everybody else is doing. Nope. Two-Hearted Mail. part of the world are you from? Bummer. Yes, the fast boards. Yeah, and it's just a preference. The fast, now part of the reason why they're doing fast, and one of the advantages to fast.
Feel the power.
Whoa! Robbie7077. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Start the follow track. Hey, who else is watching and not following along? Hit that follow button. It's free. Thank you for following. I think part of the reason why Zelda and Spaceballs were using the fast boards is because they were building their machines from the ground up, and Fast has a ground up kit. Basically it's, you know, it's a kit that comes with the driver boards, the CPU, LED lights, power supply, things like that. So in one kit you can get pretty much everything you need to build up your game. You can do the same thing on P-Rock, so it just depends upon what you want to do. I like now then it also for you this is maybe a little less important, but I program with the Mission Pinball framework. I like that framework because you can switch between fast pinball boards, P-Rock pinball boards, and the OPP. I think it's called Open Pinball Project. You can switch between all those boards, and all you have to do is just tell it, I'm running this on fast, I'm running it on P-Rock, I'm running it on the OPP. Yeah, you know me. So, Probby and 200 Mail. Why don't you say hi? I appreciate the follow, by the way. Just always curious where, you know, where everybody is. Market research, as it were. But yeah, there's a lot. I feel like doing that podcast would be, I think it would be worthwhile because there's a lot of people like you who are just interested, but you know it's hard to know. Flushing, I'm in Columbus. Yeah. Oh, are you getting a Wonka today? Congratulations. I used to have a Wizard of Oz, but then the roof started leaking, and I had to. Oh, I'll let you say it. That's fine. Good for you. Good for you. Whatever, man. Hey, throw me off my game here. I don't remember what I was talking about. Doesn't matter. Oh yeah, so my roof was leaking, so I had to get rid of my WAS, because it was going to be like this big process, and I needed some money to pay for it. So I've got an Iron Maiden now that replaced it. I have high hopes for Wonka. I want to play it more. Really? Cool. That's a really good pin to start with, to be honest with you. Well, and I'm jealous. It took me a long time. It took me quite some time to build up enough, you know, buying broken games, fixing up, selling them for a little bit more money, saving up money. Yeah, man. You're gonna love it. So what is Flushing? Is Flushing over by Detroit, or is that closer to Grand Rapids? Can't remember.
Feel the power.
Woo! Split Reality! Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Whoops. Okay, Flint. Okay, yeah. So kind of not too far away from Detroit. 20 years! Woo! I think it took maybe 2 years to convince my wife once I got, actually maybe even less. But of course, you know, I did that thing where I told her, I was like, yeah, it's just, you know, it's just gonna be this one. Beers and bits and beer. We were talking about that. He's gonna get his first game, and it's your first game, but it not gonna be your last. Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah, you get hooked, man. There's like something really special about it. You get hooked. You get hooked. Split Reality. What's your game? Yep. You know, honestly, like that's the way to go. Yeah, that's the way to go. Getting a fixer-upper, if you're not, you know, afraid of a little solder and things like that, it's absolutely worth it. Judge Dredd, cool. What part of the world are you in? We were kind of talking about, you know, when you, yeah, those are very good games. Toto bien, how's it going? Alberta, okay. Yeah, trying to think. Alberta, that might be tough. If you were in Ontario or BC, there's some good resources there. Alberta, I don't know anybody in Alberta. Plus, I always get this sense that Alberta, you know, it's like, you know, in the middle, like there's a lot of middle of nowhere. But Alberta seems to be in the middle of nowhere.
Will be powered.
Hey, thanks everybody for stopping by. I appreciate it. If anybody else is not following me, I would appreciate if you hit that follow button, even if you unfollow me later. Yeah, not to disparage at all. It's just funny because it's like, you know, I've been to BC a bunch of times, been to, you know, Ontario a bunch of times, Quebec, all that. But yeah, then Alberta, it's like, that is true. That is true. I would watch, you know, I would play a curling pinball machine. I think, I mean, like, I think just the nuances of curling would figure in really well. It would have to be like a very, I don't know, there's a lot of ways you could go, and I think all of them are wrong except for one, and I'm not sure which one's the right one. No! Oh, what all right. Hey. Gordon, how's it going, Gordon? What's up, everybody? Good to see ya. You've joined just in time to
Feel the power.
Hey, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Gordon, good vibes. I like good vibes. What's your main thing, Gordon? You know, it's what's really cool about when what I've been streaming the last couple weeks. A lot of pin dudes, but I've also gotten a bunch of people who are like not really into pinball. They're just like, I thought I'd check it out. You know, like I like pinball. I'll just check it out a little bit.
We'll be back, Jack.
Yeah, most of us, believe me, most of us are into pinball, but I'm always surprised. Like, I was playing Iron Maiden for about 2 weeks, and I was really surprised at how many metalheads. I was just getting people who are into metal, just coming and hanging out. It was just funny. We were talking about curling. Oh yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. What's P2? Wow, that was brand new. Let's start this again. Let's get a better game going. Did you get it new? I mean, it was practically new. 93, gosh. So, if anybody's joining the stream, clarify a couple things. Oh yeah, Kijiji. Yeah, Kijiji's a good. Yeah, I think you'll do well in Kijiji. Premium, good. Star Wars, Black Knight, good. Oh, you got a good collection. Good. Wow, that's a good collection. Yeah, I know. I'd do that. I would do that. I miss my Ghostbusters. But like I was saying, I had a leak in the roof, so I had to sell Ghostbusters and Wizard of Oz. I'm building it back up. Whoops. There. Oh yeah. So for those of you who are just tuning in, so I am. So this is running off a P-Rock, and which is a board that you can install in lieu of the original CPU. It's got a custom driver board to interface with the P-Rock. So basically, it's my P-Rock project, and right now we're playing the original ROMs, but we're playing them through PinMain. And then I'm slowly recreating the original rules and blah, 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 blah. So in PinMain, the kickback is super slow. So that's part of the reason why I have the glass off. Also, so I can cheat. I enjoy the 80s and 90s games. The problem with the 80s games for me in the 90s games, which I would say out of the 20 odd games that I've owned over the last 5 years, it's been mostly 80s and early 90s games. Other than Ghostbusters, Iron Maiden, Wizard of Oz, and Lord of the Rings. But the problem with them is they're really good for like quick plays, but when you want to play for like a really long time, there's not much to go for, which in part is why I'm doing this kind of rules expansion to Road Kings, because I just want to play it more. I like it. I really like the layout. It's such a simple. It's like TNA in that it's a very simple layout. This right in lane or out lane is super dangerous. Plenty of way. Like it's most of your drains head out that way for one reason or another. But it's fun. Yeah. There's games that I regret selling. Maybe not regret, because like to be honest, I don't think I've ever sold a game and lost a significant amount of money or felt like I let it go too soon. So with that said, I always feel like, well, I could always buy it back if I wanted to. I miss Wizard of Oz. Absolutely. Ghostbusters I miss a little bit, but I feel like Iron Maiden really fills that hole a lot better than Ghostbusters ever could. Iron Maiden is what I wanted Ghostbusters to be. But that's neither here nor there. So, yeah, I feel like, I would get another hook. I really liked that game. The family likes that game. Um, I would get another Blackout. I would get Wizard of Oz again. I would get Lord of the Rings again. I would get Popeye again. I really like Johnny Mnemonic, but I don't know if I would get Johnny Mnemonic again. I feel like I scratched I feel like I scratched that itch. Yeah, I think it ended up being 6. But then there was some ancillary other. We weren't really sure how much it was going to be, and we weren't sure if Ghostbusters were going to cover it. So plus, oh, on top of that, they had to do some repairs to the deck too. I think probably the biggest cost was the deck. Well, the biggest one was the biggest one. What was the roof, of course, but then the deck was something else. So, anyways, but see, that's the thing is that I traded it out. We had the money, and now I'm slowly building it up again. I waited a little bit to see if we had any other costs, and then I was like, all right, I really want an Iron Maiden. Got an Iron Maiden. Yeah. Ah! See? Kickback. Just a little too slow. Kickback, but a little too slow. Yeah, take care. Hey, thanks for stopping in. I do appreciate it. It's nice getting to see new faces. Or at least new screen names, right? That's old. All right. How's the stream looking? Is okay. So I this is not where I normally stream from. I didn't have it's not where I normally stream from now. So normally, so I'm a video producer and I just set it up in the studio because I have all the equipment there. But we're moving studios, and so I decided, well, I'll just stream from the game room. But cool, thank you. So I wasn't sure if the internet was holding up. Yes, Yes, I'm a video producer. Oh, TV commercials, marketing, product training videos, the occasional feature, documentary, television show, whatever they'll pay me to do.
Vengeance will devour.
Which is how I'm able to get all my video toys and computers that are super powerful, but they're not powerful enough for 3D graphics, but they're plenty powerful to stream. Yeah. Yep, it's fun. It's nice. Now the good and the bad part is that I have a very flexible schedule, except when it's not flexible. When I when I have tomorrow I'll be working on a project tomorrow, on a shoot tomorrow. That's pretty normal. Like sometimes I'll work 80 hours a week, and then and then I've got a real easy week and maybe 20 hours for the week. It's fun. I enjoy it. It's not really like work to me, so. Nope. Yep. Perfect job. Can't beat it. It can be stressful, but I mean, to be honest, like better than digging a ditch. I don't know. Sometimes I think about ditch digging would be kind of fun for like a day or a week. Yep. Yeah. I love doing projects outside. Or for that matter, inside. Like, it's fun. Like just, like getting, construction and like digging, and it's fun. It is hard though, man. Kill your body. Fun. So what is everybody watching on a phone or a computer? I'm always curious how people watch. I think usually when I'm at work, and when I'm editing and whatnot, I'll put a stream on, and it's usually on a computer screen that's it's usually on a TV screen that's hooked up to a computer. Man, I'm getting some real house balls here. So, and it's always, so as a video producer, I'm always concerned with the end. Yeah. See, there you go. See, man? Yeah, like working from home is great. But I'm always curious about how everybody ingests it, because it's, a phone, there are different limitations. My fourth monitor. What business are you? Fourth monitor? Good. I only have two. What's your business? Oh, okay. Yeah. I like, I think early on, when I was in junior high, I thought about going into programming. Got really into like real basic, like programming in BASIC, programming in C++, and I thought I was going to get into that. I didn't, but it was fun, and that's why I kind of that's why I started really like doing programming on the P-Rock, because it felt like it felt more like what the kind of stuff I was doing before. But it's Python, which is its own thing. That'd be cool. I think there's a couple. Yeah, Python's fun. There's a guy on Twitch, Deadflip, which you probably, if you're into pinball and you're into Twitch, you've probably seen his stream. But he had a bot. He had a couple bots where he had it hooked up. So if you hit left, it would hit the left flipper button. Right, hit right flipper button. And I feel like there's been a couple attempts at getting an automated game that just knows, it can kind of read if the ball's coming down this way, if the ball's coming down this way, and it kind of knows where it's by. But I think it's worth trying. It's been really fun. So historically, I've streamed more in the evening, but it's been really fun seeing the crowd of people that stop in, who are working from home or who have, a little more leeway on what they can do at work, or a lot of people from Europe and England. So it's been pretty cool. Yes, that's true. People like pinball, even if they don't know it still exists. I think with as much, touch screens and programming and stuff like that, I think people can really appreciate the appeal of pinball. There's the older people, you get a little bit of nostalgia. If you're younger, in your 20s, and you don't have as much. I'm lucky, I'm in my late 30s, and so, I caught pinball right at the tail end before it evaporated. So yeah, I think you either have the nostalgia or it's novel. All right.
We'll be back, Jack.
Yeah. Wonka and Wizard of Oz are probably the best ones for little kids. I've got a 4-year-old and a 12-year-old. They're some of the 90s pins are okay. There's still a little of adult humor in there. Yeah, it's true. I mean, the old people, they're the ones who have money. Kids never have money. They have disposable money, but they don't have, $8,000. At least my kids don't. I would buy it.
Will be powered.
I really respect Jersey Jack, because a lot of people question when they were coming out with Wizard of Oz. They were questioning because historically they've gone with more adult themes. If not horror or metal or whatever, it had adult undertones, so a lot more sexual. And a lot of people said, Wizard of Oz, that's boring. But to be honest, I mean, a lot of us, or Willy Wonka for that matter, a lot of us have a nostalgia when it comes to Wizard of Oz or Willy Wonka, and it's still good for the kids. And I find that theme's important, but theme is, for me anyways, theme is not nearly as much as important as the layout, the rules, and just how you implement it. You can make any theme interesting to an adult. Yep. Oh, are you up in? Are you in Chicago? Wait, I'm getting so confused. Are you in Chicago area? Or no, a pinball, not Pinball Expo. Oh, that's right, that's right. Pinball at the zoo, maybe? Trying to think what expos are up there. Okay, okay, yeah. You know, in real life, I have a really hard time keeping names straight, and it's always hard keeping people in chat straight. It's like, oh, you're from Canada, you're from the East Coast, you're from Michigan, blah, blah, and it's like, who did I just talk to? Yeah. Yeah, you know, virtual pinball gets a bad rap, but it really scratches an itch for me. That's just me. Streaming and playing a decent game of pinball is not always easy. Well, thank you. I just do straight down the middle like every other bowl or every other time. You know, the other reason why I like streaming is it makes you a better player. A, you're playing more pinball. B, you're making the things automatic that can be automatic and dividing your attention. So like when I'm playing and I'm not streaming, woo, I can play really well. Great. Fun. Plus, I tend to play, a lot more pinball on my own schedule. Like if I'm going to location, I'm playing pinball on my own schedule. I play obviously a lot of pinball at home or at work, with the ones that are at my studio. And so it's a way for me to be a little more social. Yeah. I was really into the competitive scene, maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Power.
Hey, more money. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. More money. Where are you from? But yeah, I was really in the competitive scene, but it's just so hard to keep up. And it's nice because it's social, but
We'll be back, Jack. Vengeance will be ours.
yes, you will absolutely. I mean, you get a new pin, and it's like, in part, I put it in my studio. I put Iron Maiden in my studio so I only could play at work, when I went there, and not at 2 o'clock in the morning, because yeah, you will find yourself really challenging to keep away from it. Yes, that was a wise decision of her. Um, yeah, you're gonna play it so much. I want to spend some really good time on Waz, or not Waz, Wonka. I feel like the rules are pretty good. Right. Yeah, the scary part is, so my studio used to be about 45 minutes from where I live. So it worked out pretty well because, I'd go there, do my thing, work, blah, 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 blah. And then it was an easy way to separate work and home life. But we're moving, and I think I might actually be moving to like really close to my house. Close enough that I could walk there in maybe half an hour, or bike ride in 15 minutes, or drive there in like 5. And at that point, it makes it a little more attractive to do some late night streaming. But for now, for the next couple weeks, I've got the cameras in my home game room and be able to hang out, so it'll be fun. I don't, mainly because I'm so far away from everybody. So the area yes, my kids love pinball. Like my 12-year-old likes certain, like she's angry at me because we got rid of Hook and Wizard of Oz. Those were her favorite games. Her absolute favorite game though is Time Warp, which I've kept. So they're into it. And then my 4-year-old loves pinball. I would say both kids like pinball, and the 12-year-old will play sometimes, but the 4-year-old will ask, I want to play. She calls it Pinball. So she'll ask. We won't even be close to the game room. She'll ask to come down here, so they're into it. So that's nice. And that was like a necessity for me. That when we first built the game room, When we first built the game room, it was not as conducive to kids. And hey, Novice, how's it going, buddy? New game. It's still pretty metal, but there's no metal music, right? Yes. I decided it was time to try a different red game, right? Anywho, so thank you for playing. What did you play? Fear of the Dark last night? Thank you for playing that for me. It was amazing. Novice, I was talking about you early in the stream where, it seemed like I was getting a lot of people who were kind of outside the normal pin community. I've been getting a lot more people who are into metal and rock and stuff like that, and just in retro things rather than just the normal pinball crowd that I get sometimes. So Iron Maiden has been bringing the metalheads in. Oh yeah, back to leagues. So I was when I first got into pinball, I was part of a home league. And we would rotate around, but I think at the time I only had 3 games, and I think you had to have 4 or 5 to host a league. In addition to that, I'm so far away from Columbus where, it's like I said, 45-minute drive to get in. So I don't have as many people coming to my, interested in coming this far out, especially when Columbus just has such such a good arcade scene. So there's 4 leagues in like main location leagues in Columbus. Arcade Super Awesome has their own league, Pins has their own league, and Level 1 has their own league. And those are all locations, and they're only held there. Then there's a home league, and I think there might be 2. There might be 2 home leagues in the area, and then there's one that's all of Ohio. So it's pretty good. There's some good stuff here. We're pretty good. We're starting to really rack up, quite a few locations. The pinball scene in Columbus there's always been a strong community, but we're just now getting, actually there might be 4 location leagues now that I think about it. And then there's tournaments like all the time. So. Yep. There's a lot. We're getting a lot of the barcade kind of things where, they bring in all the classic arcade games, and then they want some pinball, and then that fans out. So there's a place we have 2 different locations. We have a Pins Mechanical North and a Pins Mechanical South. Both of them have about 30 pin games. And they were doing so well that I think what it was is they opened a place called 16-Bit, which was mainly video games, arcade video games, and then they put 4 pins in there. And the pins were doing so well that they decided to open one that was just pins, and then that was doing so well that they opened 2 ones that were just pins. So yeah, it's a good scene. Anywho, so I don't host, and I've been out of the league in the competitive scene for a while. I want to get back into it, but it's like, who has the time? Ah. I agree. I think that arcade games are a novelty, and there are a lot. And part of my stream and part of the reason why it's Boom Go Pinball and Arcade is I like playing arcade games, but there's a real draw. There is a real draw to pins. Both in real life and on Twitch. I can stream arcade games all the time, all day, 24 hours. I could have some gimmick, and I'll get a few people, that I know popping in. But if I stream a pin, oh my gosh, people love just watching, like they love watching it. So, even if you're not a high level player, people love watching people play pinball. It's like unique. So, and I think it's because it's a lot of people with MAME and just video games in general. It's real easy for them to get. It's easier for them to get the video games, and you can get some of the virtual pins, which I love virtual pins, but there's something special about being able to knock on the playfield. So, yeah. I will sometimes put tournaments on, just to have on, just there's just pin tournaments. I might not even be paying attention, but it just makes me feel good to have pinball in the background, All right, let's focus up. Nope. gotta get a high score today. I agree. That is, and in part that's why I like watching. I like watching players, like beginner players, because a lot of times you come up with new things I didn't even think about. You know, you're coming with a fresh set of eyes. I like watching, intermediate players. I would say I'm a beginner intermediate. I've been playing for now for about 5 years, but I'm good at some things, but not great. And then some of the high level players, it's magical. It's magical watching them. And then on top of that, like you said, it's not enough to be a good, like, have good ball skills. You have to know the rules. You have to know what to shoot. You have to know all sorts of, you have to know Stern flippers and Williams system, system 6 flippers and system 11 flippers, and God, it's and the Data East flip. I mean, each Gottlieb flippers are probably the weirdest. It's a skill. It's a skill. Yeah, man. I saw you playing. I saw some of those Back to the Future streams. That was pretty cool. I know. It's real work. You can put a lot of time into it. And I think what people don't get is sometimes they feel like it's like slot machines, Yeah, absolutely. I think I have links turned on. I'm not sure. If not, you can whisper it to me and then I can post it. If it's not letting you. It's not letting you. I'll see if I can turn it on. Hold on. You know what I can do? I can make you a mod, and you should be able to post a clip then. Okay, let me mod you up. Hold on. How do I mod you? Add friend. Here, I'll just add you to my friends. Whisper, sub, report. Wait, timeout, ban, mod. There it is. All right. So you should be modded if you want to give that a try. Oh, there you go. Yeah. There it is. Okay. There we go. Nope, nope. Ah, dang it. The one disadvantage of this game. You know what I wish? You know, one of the big things I wish that pinball games had was a pause feature. Funny enough, the home ROMs for Twilight Zone has the ability to pause the game. It's like I think you like lift your flipper up and then hit the start button a certain amount of times, and then it will keep your ball up on here until you come back. Great. I feel like that, you know, especially with as much home play is coming, being able to like pause the game, I find that that's important. Or for that matter, continue the game. It's like, all right, so I'm halfway through. I'm doing really well. I'd like to save it now. In part, that's what makes pinball special. You can't pause it, and you can't pick up where you left off. You can't save your game. Yeah. But hey, you know that's part of the allure, where it's like, I gotta go. I'm still playing. I gotta go. LaCroix. Hey, isn't LaCroix? It's LaCroix. Isn't that up in? I feel like that was in Michigan. I could be wrong. I like to call it LaCroix, but oh yeah, that would work. I tell my wife all the time when I play pinball, I'm not married, because I lap save so much it like really starts. My fingers start swelling. Back when I had Wizard of Oz, I was like, my wife always referred to it as, you know, Dorothy as my first wife, or the, you know, because I was just spending so much time with Dorothy, it was like an affair. Ooh. We got Kroby over here spending a bunch of time with kids and a weirdo that invites them into their factory. Hey, no judgment. He was jealous. No! Did I get it? I think it was too slow. I gotta adjust that switch. If you don't hit it fast enough, you get like a slow. Which is fine. I mean, I guess this doesn't count. Right. Yep. I'm constantly like wondering how I'm going to damage my child mentally. I say to my 12-year-old, I'm like, well, just put it in the book when you go on Oprah, which is funny because nobody's going on Oprah anymore, but. Yeah. Dr. Phil's still around. I don't really watch a lot of. I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. I just watch internet. It's funny, but it's true. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I know. I know. That's the thing is that, like, to be honest, so, I produce television. But I mean, mainly, but I produce video, but mainly the stuff I do, it goes on the internet. Because, like, nobody's watching things on television anymore. And, like, you know, if I watch TV, it's on my computer or a computer device. I watch a ton of YouTube. I watch a lot of Twitch. And then, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Like, I think TV mainly comes down to, like, the kids, yes. Ah! All right. Almost 3 hours. We'll be at 3 hours in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. Did it. Well, hopefully tomorrow. Yeah. So this is 86. Yeah, it's good stuff. Let me think. Well, you probably won't run into this with with Wonka as much. Waz is heavy, like ridiculous. I've owned about 20 pinball machines, and Waz is by far the heaviest. Wonka is probably not quite as heavy because it's a narrow body, right? Yeah. Um, you know, since it's new in box, there's not a lot you have to worry about. But I got a Gorgar about 5 years ago, and there's a magnet that's up in this corner here, and I plugged it in, turned it on, and there was like really loud humming sound, and the game was like kind of going crazy, but I was like trying to figure out what was wrong with it, and all of a sudden there's like smoke billowing up from the playfield, so like the magnet had got locked on. Um, I've when I got a Johnny Mnemonic, I bought it out of this guy's house in Dayton, Ohio. That was pretty sketchy. I can't believe that I brought thousands of dollars into his house. Um, let's think. What any big like setup stuff? No, I mean, um, yep. I think the guys at Williams use Moogs synthesizers. Um, I'm trying to think of any big horror story. I mean, the nice thing about getting a brand new Jersey Jack pinball is their customer service is really good. So you probably won't run into a lot of problems with with that. Um, see any big horror stories? No, I mean there's like with new. It's hard to say with new game. I mean, there's a lot of things with used games just to be careful of, and but I would say take your time. You don't want to nick the cabinet. You don't want to break anything. It would just be so sad if you dropped it. Setting it up, if you've never set up a pin before, I think that they'll probably have instructions for you on how to set it up, but I typically will lay it on its back, which is basically, where the head comes up. With the head should be attached still. Then yeah. But the way that you'll probably unbox it is it'll come already basically in that position where the head is folded up and it's on its back. You'll put the front legs on, um, lower it down, and then I do it by myself, but then I'll lift the back end up and I'll put something under it, like a chair under it. And then you put the back legs on, and you're good to go. Um, yeah, I mean that's once you do that, um, I would quickly before you plug it in, turn it on. I quickly look around to make sure there's nothing obviously unplugged or touching or anything like that. It becomes a bigger problem with some of the older pins where stuff gets ripped. Yes, also, the balls usually have like a little bit of oil on them, and you can wipe those off. Yeah, I don't know. Have fun. It's once you yeah, yes. I don't know, once you get it set up, you'll kind of be an expert. Um Novice, I just made you a mod. Rub the balls. Um but yeah, no, I mean no real advice, just have fun and allow like a day. Hopefully it comes tomorrow and you have nothing better to do. Hopefully it comes like early in the day, you have nothing better to do, because like for the rest, hey man, you're a good mod. You're a good mod. Um Hopefully you have nothing better to do for the rest of the weekend, because like it's by the time you get it in, loaded into the room you want it. And the nice thing is it should be in the box already, so I would suggest moving it in the box into your office first, to avoid bumping it into anything. But yeah, once it'll probably take you I can get a pin set up pretty fast. It might take you half an hour, just going slow, reading the directions, taking your time, asking for help, ask a neighbor if you don't have somebody around who can help you lift it up. Don't kill yourself on the first one. Oh, it's funny. I do have a story about this table. I was doing some repairs on it. I had the playfield up, and the playfield got knocked down and it landed on my head. And there's a lot of sharp things down there. Um, yeah, yeah, now, later. I think you're gonna love it though. Oh my gosh, you're gonna love it. And it's like, nobody's gonna hear from you for days. It's like, you'll get work done, and then you'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go play now. All you'll do.
Vengeance will be powered.
What are we up to again? No, I just said. My mind's going in like 3 hours. Let's see here. Yeah, oh my gosh. Your 5-year-old's gonna love it. Gonna love it. It's such a fun game. So, like, Jersey Jack games, they do a great job of being colorful and just fun to look at. They've got great light shows. Excellent pin for a kid. Oh my god, that's so cool. That's so cool. He's gonna love it. Yeah, there's something special about Jersey Jack games that like kids just love them. They're just fun. They're fun to look at. They're so beautiful. That is so cute. So I think I'm gonna play for 5 more minutes and take a break. The longest I've streamed in a long time. But I'm having a lot of fun doing it. And you guys make it fun. So thank you. Trying to think. I know that the I know that there's a really good pinball scene in Grand Rapids, and I know that there's a. I'm trying to remember where it is. There's a place called something Mechanical Museum, Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum. That's I feel like it's closer to that Detroit area, and they used it was like a VFW. He would host a show at a VFW up there. But I'm trying to think, because I would, I think getting involved in a scene is always fun. Yep. I used to do a bunch of mods, like, pinball modifications and stuff, and I know that Clay Harrell, who is up there, and he was kind of the tech or whatever. Yeah, yes. He bought a couple things off of me. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. God. The key to nudging is to nudge one way and then quickly nudge the other way.
We'll be back, Jack. Vengeance will be power.
All right, we're gonna make this the best last game ever. The last best game ever. Ow! That's not great. Sometimes when I do that, sometimes I'm like, all right, one last game. If my first ball is like that, I would just start the game again. Like, there's no way that's gonna be my last game. Sometimes though, I let it ride. And I actually find that once you get that dirt ball out of the way, you just have fun. Yep. Yeah, I know. Because then you're like, oh man, I just had an amazing ball 2. Why couldn't I have amazing ball 1? It is what it is, I guess. So how much Waz I keep wanting to say Waz. How much Wonka have you gotten to play? Like in the arcade. I can remember the first time I got to play Road Kings. I was at the Asheville Pinball Museum in Asheville, North Carolina. After looking for one and never, they're never on location. I found one there in Asheville, and I found one in, I think, Knoxville, Tennessee, at the Time Warp T. It was love at first sight. Nope. Nope. Wasn't good, wasn't terrible. Gonna be good. Gonna be fun. Better be good. Nope. Nope. Gotta slow your body down. Ah, bummer. So who all still watching? I hate when I'm just about to finish up and it's like you get new people tuning in. So bad. Nope, nope. Ah, bummer. What's that? Say? You'd like me to play another game? Okay. Don't pull my arm. We'll make this the last game. But thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I do need a break. But I appreciate you. If you're watching and aren't following, hit that follow button. Just let me know you like watching me. You like watching me stream. Yes, yes. It was this was fun. I wasn't sure how this was gonna work out. After playing Maiden for so long, it's kind of a crowd pleaser. Wasn't sure, how many people I was gonna get in here, and I feel good about it. The nice thing about playing this game is it's easier. It's a little easier for me to talk because there's not a lot of thinking that goes into it. It's pretty much shoot the ramps, get in multi-ball, do it again. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, it's easier to stream when you're playing. If you're super into oh man, that kickback. I have a bunch, so like I said, I've probably been streaming I streamed for about 2 years, took a break, blah, blah, blah. On my YouTube page, I have an archive of all the different games I've streamed. There's some good ones on there. I used to do a lot more location streaming. Just when you thought it was over, get an extra ball. All it takes is one. Yeah, I know. It's like, all right, I'll take a break. Well, no, you're doing okay. You're doing okay. Oh, right down the middle. All right, one more. One more. Do this. Gonna be a good one. I've had games on here on Road Kings where I've had just terrible ball 1 and 2, and then I get the pity extra ball, and then I end up getting the multi-ball extra ball, and then also the Road Kings the multi-ball extra ball and the Road Kings extra ball. And so it's like, yeah, I had 2 terrible balls, but then I got 2 more balls back, so it's good stuff. Whoops. All right. Cool, everybody. Well, it really was a pleasure. I do appreciate everybody for tuning in, for hanging out. I will probably, I think the kids are not coming home. The kids are going swimming this afternoon, and Mom isn't coming home. So I may jump back on here. I might do some virtual pinball. I'm not sure. Once I take a break, get something to eat, hang out, check my email, make sure there wasn't anything work related I was supposed to be doing. So I may be back. If not, I'll probably be back tomorrow afternoon night. But number one, thank you so much. But in closing, also at the Boom Go Pinball stream, we believe heavily in a positive outlook on mental health. It's serious. It's serious as a heart attack or cancer. It can really mess up your life, and it can end your life too. I encourage everybody, if you know somebody who is struggling with mental health problems, just let them know that you're there. Sometimes it's just enough to know that you're not alone. And if you're struggling, ask for help. Nobody's going to think less of you, and I will be glad to help in any way I can. So I'm going to leave you guys with the traditional PSAs I throw up at the end of my stream. So take care, and it was great spending a couple hours with you. Take care, and I will see you guys either later or tomorrow. Sooner or later, we'll put it that way. Take care. Bye.
When depression meets hope, everything can change. Give someone who's struggling the help they desperately need. Your support of the National Alliance on Mental Illness funds programs and support groups that can transform a life. Be a part of the NAMI effect. Hope starts with you.
Bad.
Worthless.
Don't trust them. They'll hurt you. You're worthless. It's pointless.
When the pain of schizophrenia meets hope, everything can change. Help someone who is struggling by supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness and be a part of the NAMI effect. Hope starts with you.
Man, I'm about to fly this thing myself. This autopilot is being crazy. I think it's bipolar or something.
Well, that makes two of us.
What's that?
I have bipolar disorder, and I'm your co-pilot. You and me have been flying a long time, and I know you don't think I'm crazy, but you might want to watch what words you toss around.
Wow, this guy in 7A is crazy. He just ate his 12th bag of nuts. He is nuts. I mean, leave some for the rest of us.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah, he was crazy hungry, I guess.
Is this crazy?
Yes, that was crazy.
How's about this? How about that? Was that crazy?
Yeah, I've got to admit, that was pretty crazy.
Wrong. Nobody's crazy. Using those kind of words alienates people, makes them feel like it's them against the world. Plenty of us got mental health conditions, but that doesn't mean we're crazy.
Wow, I never thought about it like that. You know what? I'm gonna go give the guy in 7A some more nuts.